Hi everyone, it's Friday. Welcome back to Clues by Sam. We have a hard one today, and if you don't know what Clues by Sam is, it is a daily logic puzzle game where you have 20 people on a board who may be criminals or innocents, and you gotta figure out what each person is using the clues that they themselves give you. If you wanna play the game, you can check the link in the description before I start, but if you wanna just watch, let's go now. First of all, we have Anna telling us that both innocents in row 1 are connected. Well, Anna herself is in row 1 and she is only connected to Bobby, so we know that since she is an innocent, Bobby has to be one too. And since she tells us that there's only 2 innocents in row 1, both Chad and Diane have to be criminals, and we don't need her clue anymore. Now, Bobby telling us that Sue and Irving have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Oh, they're zombies today, I notice now. Sue and Irving have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Okay, Irving so far doesn't have any criminal neighbors, and Sue has 5 neighbors total. There's also pumpkins, so zombies and pumpkins. The number of occults is getting greater. There's an odd number of criminals in column A. Okay, column A is Anna's column. And there's 4 people who are not assigned yet, so it may be that 3 of them are criminals or just 1 of them. We don't know. Now, Diane tells us that both criminals above Tom are connected. Tom is in column A, and we know there's 2 criminals above him. There's 3 people above him. If 2 of them are criminals, let's say it's Jose and Irene. Nicole will be an innocent, and since we have to have an odd number of criminals in column A, and we have 2 criminals here, Tom has to be a criminal, so we can have 3 total, which is an odd number. So Tom is a criminal. And we don't need the tags. Now both criminals, okay, we don't need that clue anymore, and Chad's clue is still helpful. This one, not so much. Now Tom tells us that only one of the 2 innocents neighboring Sue is in row 5. Okay, so now we have new information telling us about Irving's neighbors, because we know that Sue, who has 5 neighbors total, has 2 innocent neighbors. So she has 3 criminal neighbors. Since Sue and Irving have an equal number of criminal neighbors, we know that the remaining neighbors for Irving are all criminals, because he also has to have 3 criminal neighbors, just as Sue does. So that's one. And the other thing is, one of the 2 innocents neighboring Sue is in row 5. So either Wanda or Zara are an innocent, because both of them neighbor Sue and are in row 5. And there's another innocent up here. So let's go for all of the criminals that neighbor Irving, and we don't need Bobby's clue anymore. Now Gabe tells us that exactly. Now we know also that either Irving or Nicole are a criminal and the other one is an innocent. Gabe is telling us that exactly 2 of the 3 innocents neighboring Paul are in row 5. Okay, Paul is here. He neighbors Sue, and he has 3 neighbors in row 5. 2 of them are innocents. And we know that 2 of them are in row 5, right? 2 innocents in row 5. Yeah. And we know there's 1 innocent here who's going to be either Wanda or Zara, because there's 1 innocent in row 5 who also neighbors Sue. And this second innocent can only be Vicky, so Vicky is an innocent. I guess we don't need... Oh, we need that clue because it tells us that Paul has 3 innocent neighbors in total, so there's 1 more up here again. Now, Jose tells us that Isaac and him have an equal number of innocent neighbors. Okay, we know about 1 innocent neighbor. It's either gonna be Nicole or Irving. We don't know about Olaf yet. But we know that Isaac has to have at least one innocent neighbor. Okay. I'm not tagging it. Gotta think about this. We gotta put all of these together because one of the two instance neighboring Sue is in row 5. Which means that Sue has one more instant neighbor here. And we also know that Paul has 3 instant neighbors. One of them is here. One of them is here, Vicky. And if him is an innocent, if he is an innocent, then Sue has to be an innocent. Because Sue has 2 innocent neighbors. And if Paul is an innocent, the 2 are already here. So both Lucy and Mary are criminal. But Paul still needs one more. Which could be Olaf, so no, Sue doesn't have to be an innocent if Paul is one. Bad. There's another number of criminals in column A, yeah. Jose and Isaac have an equal number of innocent neighbors. If we don't know about Olaf, there's no way for us to know if Isaac shares an innocent neighbor with Sue. Like so. So how does this work? What am I missing? Isaac and Jose have an equal number of innocent neighbors. One of the 2 innocent neighboring Sue is in row 5. Sue and Erwin have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Yeah. So far, so good. Three instance neighboring Paul. Let me look at that again. Paul has one more instant. Am I gonna have to do tagging? Is this gonna help me? Let's think about this because Jose and Isaac, yeah, I think tagging is gonna help. Jose and Isaac have to have an equal number of innocent neighbors. If Olaf is an innocent, Jose has 2 innocent neighbors, so Isaac has to have 2. The only way for Isaac to have 2 innocent neighbors it's not the only way, but let's say that Hank is one of the innocents. Isaac's gonna have to have one more innocent neighbor here, who's either gonna be Lucy or Mary, if Olaf is an innocent. And that breaks Paul's total, because Paul has 3 innocent neighbors only. But that will be 4, because there will be Olaf, someone here, 2, Vicky, 3, and someone here, 4. But Paul only has 3 innocent neighbors. So Olaf cannot be an innocent in any way. And we know that Isaac only has 1 innocent neighbor. Good. Nice. What else? Olaf tells us that Isaac has more innocent neighbors than Zara, which means that Zara has no innocent neighbors. Because we know that Isaac has only one, and the only number possible that's less than 1 is 0. So Wanda, Poe, and Sue are all criminals, and Zara is an innocent. So we know that someone here is an innocent because Sue has 2 innocent neighbors, which means that Hank is a criminal. Now Hank tells us that Sue and Diane have an equal number of criminal neighbors. We know that Sue has 3 criminal neighbors. Diane, the only way for her to have 3 criminal neighbors is by having all of her neighbors being criminal, so Isaac has to be a criminal as well. We don't need Hank's clue anymore. Now Isaac tells us that Vicky and him have an equal number of criminal neighbors. Criminal neighbors? Vicky. Oh, Vicky. Here. I was so confused. Well, Vicky has 4 criminal neighbors so far, and she only has 1 neighbor left. And we know that Isaac has 1 innocent neighbor, so we know that Nicole has to be an innocent. And because Nicole is an innocent, Irwin is a criminal. And now Nicole tells us that no innocent in row 3 is on the edges. So we know that Mary, who is on the edge and in row 3, is a criminal. Had to double check there. And Lucy is an innocent. Nice. How long was that? Less than 12 minutes. Nice kickstart to the weekend. I like that. I always miss the hard ones. And I love when I get a all green hard one right after getting a yellow and a tricky one. But that was a misclick yesterday, so give me a discount. That's gonna be it for today. If you tried the puzzle, let me know how it went for you or what you thought of me playing. And I will be back tomorrow with more clues by Sam. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see that. And I will be streaming tonight with Silksong and doing some pull-ups. Trying to get my back checked. So yeah, I'll see you then if you join. And if not, I'll see you tomorrow.